router is a layer 3 device. It is a layer 3 device. So layer 3 means network layer. Switches is a layer 2 device. Layer 2 means it is a data link layer. Now, routers, they are going to deal with the packets, IP packets. In layer 3, we used to say it is a packets. So if a packet is coming, so it will check what is your destination IP address. Then based on the destination IP address, your router is going to take some decision. So routers will deal with the IP packets. Whereas switches, if you go for the switches are going to deal with the frames. So in layer 2, we are going to say, okay, it is called a frame. Now from today, we are going to use this word frames. We are not going to use the word switches, packets. So in router, we are going to say it is a packet. Here we are going to say it is a frames. Then router is going to deal with the addresses, IP address. Okay, 32-bit IP address or 128-bit IP address. So your routers are going to deal with the IP addresses. But here we are going to use in switches, okay, the switches are going to use the MAC address. So MAC address is a 48-bit MAC address. Okay, it's a 48-bit address. So 48-bit addresses. So the switches are going to use, okay, the MAC address. Routers are going to maintain routing tables. Okay, routers are going to maintain routing tables, but switches are going to maintain, okay, we can say it is a MAC table or we can say it is a CAM table. Okay, it is going to maintain a MAC table or a CAM table. So from today onwards, you have to be familiar with these words. Okay, you have to familiar all these key terms. Then layer 2, layer 3, we already discussed this. Then router is a device which is used to connect the networks. I have 2 networks, 3 networks, 100 networks. If I have all the networks, you can connect only by using the router device. So router is a device which is used to connect the networks. But if you take switches are the device which are going to be used within a local area network, only one network. So within a local area network, we are going to use the switches. If you take our college, so in our college it's a local area network. So we have around 500 computers available in our network. So what we are going to do in every lab, we are going to have the switches. Okay, we are having the switches in every lab. So all the computers we are connecting with the switches, then the switches will be connected with the router. So routers used for connecting the different local area networks, whereas the switches are used to connect within the local area networks. Okay, so these are the basic differences you have to understand. Lecture number 8, Introduction to Switched Networks. Okay, Introduction to Switched Networks. Here. So what we are going to study in this particular lecture means we are going to talk about only the concept of switching. And before that, we are going to discuss about, okay, what is convergence and what is a switched network, how the frame, okay, how the frames will be forwarded, okay, and what is a collision domain and what is a broadcast domain. So these are the concepts we are going to study in this particular lecture. Now, growing complexity of networks. So what does that means? Things are changing. Okay, if you see the network, whatever the network you are seeing now, it is not the same, okay, that which was in, okay, 10 years back. Things are improving. Things are getting more, okay, more modernized. Technology, people started using lot of things, lot of changes are happening in the networks. Okay, so you can say our digital world is keep on changing. So we are all having modern devices, okay, phone, telephone you can have in your network. Okay, some more, okay, latest devices. These are all the switches. Okay, modern switches, okay, it is available nowadays. Information must be accessed from anywhere in the world, and the network must be secure. Your network must be secure. Your network must be reliable, and the network must be highly available. So the modern things, even all the network equipments, network devices are now keep on changing. So we are not using the same network devices. Plenty of changes happening in the okay, the nowadays. Now, The next one is converged network. Now we are all going for the converged network. So what is the converged network means? 10 years back, 15 years back, okay, we have your phone. Okay, everybody is having a phone in your home. Okay, landline. So using that landline phone, you can just make a call. That's it. You can press from some number 22456, some numbers you can type. Okay, somebody is going to talk. That's it. Can you send a photo to him? No. Can you send a text message to him? No. So what is the purpose means? You can simply call that particular person by using that particular phone. That's it. Then you go to the post office. So post office is a network. So you can write something, okay, you can write something in the paper and you can send it. That's it. Only the text message. But the modern networks, what's happening means I need everything in my network. So you take your mobile phone. So using your mobile phone, you can send a text message to somebody. You can take a photo just like that. You can just click something and you can send it. You can take a video clip and send it. You can talk to someone. You can send a voice message to someone. So all these types of data are now converged in single network. So I'm using only one mobile phone. In one mobile phone, I'm doing everything. Okay, I'm sending a voice message. I'm sending I'm sending a video clip. I'm sending an audio clip. Everything I'm doing by using my mobile phone. So only one device, only one network. Now everything is happening in one network. So this concept is called the converged network. So collaboration is a requirement. So collaboration means to support collaboration. Collaboration means many things they put together. What are they? See, voice, IP phone, voice gateways, video support, video conferencing. So everything it is now combined together. Okay, you are listening to my words. That is the audio data. And you are seeing my screen. That is the video data. So everything, okay, in single network, only one network is enough. You can converge everything. So call control, voice message, mobility, automated attend, everything now we combine together in a single network. So this is called, okay, the converged network. Not only that, you see the word mobility. Mobility. So what is a mobility means? You can receive everything. Okay, you can receive everything in one network and you can move also. You no need to sit in one place. Okay, so I know many students are listening the videos, okay, only in the mobile phone. You are attending the class in the mobile phone. So you can move anywhere in your home, or even you can drive and go somewhere. So this is going to be the modern network. So in the modern networks, everything is converged together and even they are supporting the mobility. Okay, mobility also supported. So this is about the converged network. What is the advantage? What is the advantage or benefits of converged networks? Now, multiple types of traffic, different types of traffic. Okay, we already discussed. Okay, voice traffic, text message, video traffic. So only one network to manage. So this is going to save substantial savings of over installation and management. So you no need to have a separate cable for the voice data. No need to have a separate cable for the text. No need to have a separate cable for video. Nothing. Everything is going to be meshed together, and you will have a single cable. So the installation will be easy and easy management. Usually you are going to manage the management of separation of voice, video, everything you are going to manage, and you are going to integrated IT management. So everything is now combined together. It is integrated, okay, and easy to manage. And you can save a lot of cost also. Okay, the cost also you are going to manage. So these are the benefits of converged network. Now, the next concept is borderless switched networks. Now, the Cisco is one of the leading manufacturer of networking devices. So the most of the comments what we studied here, okay, in this course, it is completely based on the Cisco devices. So the Cisco, they are now coming a concept. Okay, they bought a concept. What does that means? That is called the borderless switched networks. Borderless switched networks. What is this borderless switched network? Okay, you see the word, that is no border. Borderless. So you are 30 students, you are attending the class now. All the 30 students are not sitting in the classroom. If you all sit in one room, that is called border. We have some border. But now all the 30 students, you are sitting in different locations. I don't know where you are sitting actually. So some students from Sur, some students from Sogar, some students from Salala, some students from Muscat, even some students attending the class from outside Oman. So this concept, it is called a borderless network concepts. You can move anywhere. So a borderless network is a network architecture that allows the organizations to connect anyone. We all belongs to the same organization. We all belongs to College of Applied Science. Okay, anyone, anywhere, you are sitting at anywhere, anytime, and no one device. Okay, and on and on any device. Okay, you can use a mobile phone, you can use a tab, or you can use a PC, anything on any device, securely, reliably, and seamlessly. So without any disturbance. So in a reliable way and in a secured way, you are all connected from different locations, and we are accessing the network. So this concept, it is a borderless networking concept. Even in our college, okay, if you come to the college, you will see in all the labs, they change the systems. We are now having VDIs. Okay, what does that means? That is called the virtual desktop. I can access the college computer. Okay, for example, lab 104 or 105, you take any lab. So I can enter into the lab by sitting, okay, here, by sitting from my home. Okay, I can enter into the college computer by sitting from my home. I can enter into that. Okay, there is a concept called VDI. Okay, even the students can access, okay, college computers, they can access, okay, by sitting from outside. So you can use a VDI, okay, software. You can enter into that. You can access all the softwares available in machine. So I can enter into lab 104. In lab 104, 30 computers means I can select any one computer and I can work in that computer. So this is going to be the borderless concepts. So the Cisco borderless network is designed to address the IT and business challenges, such as supporting the converged network and changing the working pattern. So completely the work pattern has changed nowadays. So we no need to sit, we no need to go to the office at all. Okay, you can work from home. Okay, and you can work for any organizations like that. So according to Cisco, so what they are doing means they are giving two different types of architecture. Okay, hierarchy in the borderless switched network. So they are giving two different design, or we can say two different architectures they are giving. So one is called 3-tier LAN design. So you can design your LAN like this, or 2-tier LAN design. So you can design your local area network as a 3-tier design, or we can have in a 2-tier design. So what is a 2-tier means? This is some levels. Okay, you can see. So what is the first level means? I can say the first level is going to be the access level. So access level is nothing, it is the switches, all your switches. This is a symbol for switch. Then the next level is going to be the distribution level. Then the next level is a core level. So core, distribution, and access. So 3 levels they are having, 3-tier. This is called 3-tier LAN design. So you can design, all your computers will be available here. Okay, your computers will be connected here. Now you can have a 3-tier design, or you can have a 2-tier design also. What is 2-tier means? The core and distribution I'm going to merge together. Okay, the core level and the distribution level I'm going to merge together. You can see collapsed. Collapsed core bar distribution. I'm going to make this as a single level. So 2-tier architecture also you can go, 2-tier design. Okay, 2-tier LAN design, 3-tier LAN design also you can go. Okay, what is the use? Why? What is the use means? If you go like this, you will have hierarchy, you will have modularity, you will have resiliency and flexibility. So these are the 4 principal things. Okay, the 4 principal things you can see. Borderless switched network design guidelines are built upon the following principles. Hierarchy. Hierarchy means some level. So this is going to be the top level, the next level, the next level. So you can have a hierarchy. Okay, so like deanship, head of the departments, then faculty members, then students. So there is a hierarchy you can maintain, a clear hierarchy you can maintain in your network, in your LAN. Then modularity. Modularity means everything is going to be a separate module. Core is a module, Distribution is a module. Access is a module. If you want to remove any module, you can remove. If you want to merge any two modules, you can merge. Okay, so that is going to be the modularity. The resiliency means your network will be always, it will be like free from errors. Fault recovery, automatically it will recover from the fault. Okay, so resiliency is a very big term. I'm just cut short. Then flexibility means you can, this architecture or this type of setup is more flexible to work. So easily you can modify this setup. So these are all the four different principles. Okay, hierarchy, modularity, resiliency, and flexibility. Now the next one, we are having an example here. You can see. So take, this is our college. So in our college, okay, so we are having so many buildings. Okay, see, building B, this is marketing and sales. Building C, engineering department. And this is building A, this is going to be the management. And this is building F, data center. Building E, information technology. And building D, research and development. So these are all different departments available. Okay, so in our college, there are different departments available. Now, you can see the core level. So that is the topmost. So the core level, I'm going to say this is the LRC. Okay, this is our LRC. That means the library building. So where, okay, the administrators are available. Okay, this is called the core level. So I'm going to say this is the management. Now, all the departments are connected. Okay, IT department is connected. Okay, data center, research and development. Okay, every department is connected with this core. Good. Now, for every department, I'm going to have a distribution layer. Okay, you can see a distribution layer will be there. Then we are having an access layer. So in the access layer, you see there are a lot of switches available. Plenty of switches available. You can have one switch, two switches, three switches, any number of switches you can have. So these are all called access layer, and this is going to be the distribution. Okay, you see this is this access distribution, access distribution, access distribution. So what is that access means? It is a collection of routers. Okay, collection of routers. So you will be having one core. 10 departments means for every department you are having a distribution center. Then from the distribution you can have any number of access, any number of switches you can have. So our college is built like this. Okay, you see this is our LRC, and we are having so many labs. You take, this is lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, lab 4, lab 5. So for every lab I'm going to give a distribution device. Then I'm going to give the access. Okay, switches we are going to give. So this is how we can we can arrange. So this is called, okay, three architecture. Okay, three tier architecture, or we can say it is a 3-tier LAN design. So 2-tier LAN design, 3-tier LAN design. Okay, you can have anything depending upon the need. Okay. The next one is role of switched networks. Switching technologies. So switching technologies are very important. It is very crucial. Okay, very important. Okay, to a network design. So how many switches you are going to use? Okay, where you are going to place your switches. So all these things are, it's very important for a switched network. Switches allows the traffic to be sent only when where it is needed to the most cases, and using the fast method. Okay, I'll tell a very important point. Switch is a very fast device comparing with routers. Comparing with routers, switch is going to be a very fast device. So switching will be done very effectively. Okay, routing is a time consuming process. Okay, from one network to one network. Okay, routing, it's a time consuming process, but switching means within the network. So it will be very fast. Okay, so a switched LAN allows more flexible, more traffic management. Easily you can manage your traffics. This we are going to study in the coming lectures. Then it will improve the quality of service. Switches will add security. Okay, you can have wireless switches also. Then you can have telephones, IP telephony, and it will support the mobility service also. So mobility means you can move. So a switch can do everything. It will improve the quality of service. It will give the security. It will give the telephone connectivities. Okay, that is called the IP telephones, and it will okay, accepting, or it is increasing, or it is providing the mobility services. Okay, so these are all, okay, a switch can do. Your switch LAN can do all these things. There. The next one is, if you see the switches, switch is a device. Okay, you can see this is a switch device. So the switch devices, it is available in 3 different forms. Okay, 3 different forms. What is that means? Okay, the form factor. What are the 3 different forms means? One is called the fixed platform. The next one is called modular platform, and the next one, it is called the stackable platform. Okay, so these are the 3 different forms of a switch. Okay, the switches, the device is available like this. In our lab, if you see, everything, it is going to be fixed platform. What is fixed platform? You see, this is one switch, this is another switch, this is another switch. Okay, you see the first one, if you count here, it will be 48 ports. So 48 ports you can connect here. So 48 ports, it is having 48 computers you can connect. And this is a 48 port switch. And this is a 48 port switch. This is 24 port switches. Okay, so you can buy a switch, you can fix this switch somewhere, and you can connect 48 computers you can connect. So the features and options are limited to those that originally comes with the switch. So here you cannot do any changes to this. 48 port means 48 port, that's it. Okay, you cannot do anything. So you can just connect your computers here by using RJ45. Okay, the connector, the jack, you can put the RJ45 here and you can connect. So this is called the fixed platform. Modular platform. What is modular platform means? You can see 3 or 4 or 5 some switches. Okay, it will be coming as a box. Okay, this is called a modular platform. Okay, it will be like a chassis. Chassis means like a box. Okay, even in our network lab, if you see in the lab K001, you will find the modular switches, modular platform. So in this, it is fixed, some 3 or 4. Even we can increase. We can increase the number of switch, and it will be used as one chassis, one box. So this chassis accepts the inline cords and contains the ports. Okay, so this is going to be the modular form. The third form is stackable. What is stackable form means? You see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 routers, sorry, 4 switches I have. I want to use all the 4 switches. Okay, for example, in the first switch, I have only 8 ports. And the next one, I have 8 ports, 8 ports, 8 ports. I want to connect 32 computers, I want to connect. So 8, 8, 8, 8 means you can see, I can give the connection like this. Okay, see, from the first switch, I take the connection, I'm giving the connection to the last. Then I'm just, okay, creating a loop. Okay, I'm creating a loop. So what does it mean? It means all the switches now, it will work as a single. Okay, I don't have, okay, 48 switch, 48 port. So I make small, I'm connecting, okay, as a single. Okay, if you want me to repeat, see, this is a 4 port switch and this is a 4 port switch. Okay, I want to connect 6 computers, I want to connect. So this is 4 port and this is 4 port. I have 6 computers. So what I can do, I can connect 4 here and I can connect another 2. Then these 2 switches I'm going to connect. So now it will act as a single switch. Okay, it will act as a single switch. So you can connect 6 computers, you can connect. So this is called the stackable format or stackable platform. So this is connected by a special cable, effectively operate as one large switch. So it will operate as a large switch. Okay, you have to connect one switch with another switch if you connect. So this is creating a loop. Okay, automatically it will be connected. So these are the 3 different ways. Okay, that means the hardware, switch hardware is available. Okay, one is a fixed platform, second one is a modular platform, and the third one is a stackable platform. Then the next one is switching as a general concept. Okay, what is that switching as a general concept? Generally, we are going to study. See, a switch makes a decision. Switch is going to make a decision based on the ingress. That means based on the ingress and the destination port. So here, everything we are going to decide based on the port. So what is a port? So this is, if you take a switch is going to be like this. Okay, so in a switch, there are so many port numbers available. Okay, so 24 port switch, 48 port switch, 8 port switch. Okay, like this. Now, in every port, something is connected. Something is connected in every port. Now, so if your computer is sending a frame, I'm not using the word packet. If a frame is coming, so now this frame should be forwarded. The frame should be forwarded to someone. Okay, it should be forwarded to someone. So we are going to decide how to forward based on the port. So this is port 1, port 2, port 3, port 4, port 5. So based on the port, okay, in input, that means incoming and outgoing port, we have to decide. So here, everything we are going to decide based on the ports. Then a LAN which switch keeps a table. So it is going to maintain a table. Already I told in the beginning of this lecture the differences. What table we are going to maintain? What is the type of table we are going to manage in the switch means the switch is going to maintain a table. The name of the table is called MAC address table. Okay, it is called MAC address table. Or we can say it is a CAM table. So here everything, okay, we have to use the word frames. We are going to deal with the frames and we are going to deal with the MAC address. Everything is going to be done by using the MAC address of the frame. Okay, in IP address, we are going to use, in the packet, we are using the IP address. But here we are using the frames. In frames, we are going to see the MAC address. And MAC address table, we are going to manage. Now, dynamically populating a switch MAC address table. So what does that mean? A switch is going to learn. A switch is going to learn. Okay, you take in this example. So this is port number 1. Okay, port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, and port number 5. There are 5 port numbers available. So in every port number, some computer is connected. Somebody is connected here, and someone is connected here, and someone is connected here. In every port, somebody is connected. Now, the next one, for every computer, there is a MAC address. MAC address, okay, for example, I'm going to say MAC address A. For this computer, the MAC address is B. And for this computer, the MAC address is C. For this computer, the MAC address is D. Okay, and this MAC address is E. So for every computer, there is a MAC address. Now, if you connect all the computers like this, okay, automatically your switch is going to learn. Your switch is going to create a table. It will create a table. The name of the table is called MAC address table. Okay, what does that mean? In port number 1, so who is connected means MAC address A is connected in port number 1. Then in port number 2, who is connected means, okay, computer B, that means the MAC address B is connected. In port number 3, C is connected. Like this, your switch will maintain a table. Your switch will maintain a table. Your switch will create a table. By automatically, it will learn and it will create a table. So the name of the table is called MAC address table. Okay, or we can say it is a CAM table. Okay, so CAM means content addressable memory. Content addressable memory. Okay, you see map, okay, the device and port. So port number 1, what is the MAC address? Port number 2, what is the MAC address? Okay, this is I have shown here. So port number 1, the MAC address is A. Port number 2, MAC address is B. Port number 3, MAC address is C. So for every port number, what is the MAC address? So the table will be created. This table will be created. And this table, it is not going to, okay, broadcast to another switch, okay, and it is not going to update it, nothing. But if you take a router, in a router, it will create the routing table with the directly connected networks, with the remote networks, but the router is going to broadcast. The router is going to broadcast it to the next router every 30 seconds or every 60 seconds, okay, depending upon the protocol. So they are going to exchange. First router will give the routing table to the second router will give the routing table. So they are going to keep on exchanging. But here it is not like that. If a switch creates a table, finished. Okay, the switch, okay, this table we are not going to flood. Okay, say MAC address is not found in the table. If it is not found, then it is going to flood. I will explain what is this flood. This flood is different. So if it is creating a table, the table will not be shared. It is not going to share, okay, the table with the other switches. No, it is not going to share. Suppose if it is not available, it will do flooding. We will see this later. This point, okay, it will be explained in the coming slides. So yes, switch is going to learn dynamically. It is going to populating. It is going to learn, okay, all the MAC address, and it is going to create the table. So the name of the table is called the MAC address table, or we can say content address memory. Content address memory table. Okay, you can see this. So this is, you can say, a content address memory table. Now, the next one is switches. It is going to work in two different ways. Okay, a switch can work. This is a very important short answer question. A switch can work in two different ways. So it will work as a it will work as a store and forward method, or it's a cut through method. So these are the two different methods available. Your switch can work either as a store and forward, or it can work as a cut through method. Now, the latest switches are cut through switches. They're all cut through switches. So what cut through means, okay, you can see here. I will go one by one. Store and forward. What is a store and forward means? So a switch is going to take the decision. Okay, a switch is going to take a decision to forward the frame. Okay, I want to forward a frame. A frame is coming to me. So I want to forward this frame. So now, in a store and forward method, the switch will wait until getting the complete frame. Complete frame I have to get. Okay, this is called a frame. Frame header, network header, transport header. This is every layer. This is layer 4, layer 3, layer 2. So here MAC address, source MAC address and destination MAC address is available. And here source IP address and destination IP address will be available. And here source port number and destination port number will be available. Okay, now your switch will wait until the complete frame comes. Okay, I have to receive the complete frame. After receiving the complete frame, okay, the switch is going to take a decision. It will see the MAC address, destination MAC address. Where do you want to go? That is the destination MAC address. Then it will see the destination MAC address, and then your switch will take a decision. Okay, your switch will take a decision. Okay, after receiving the complete frame. After receiving a complete frame, okay, I'm going to take a decision. So this is called store and forward method. You have to store the entire frame. Then you are going to take the decision, switching decision. So where to send this, where to forward this. Okay, we have to take a decision. So this is called the store and forward method. Now, in this method, your frame, that means your switch will check the error. It will do some checking. Okay, you say checksum, C or C. So what is that C or C means? It is called the cyclic redundancy check. Okay, you can see here it is checking for the error. Suppose if there is any error in the frame. Okay, suppose if there is any error in the frame will be dropped. Okay, the frame will be dropped. And here we have to do the buffering. Buffering means you have to store the complete frame, you have to store. Then you will check the error. Then you will see what is the destination. So based on that, you will take a decision. So this is called the store and forward method. So this method is a very slow method. It's a very slow forwarding method. Okay. So this is not, okay, very good method, but it is safe. You will check error, but this method is not going to be a very fast method. It's a very slow method. Now I'm going for the next method. The next method is a cut through method. So what is a cut through method means? If a frame comes, okay, I don't want to worry about whether any error available in this frame. I don't want to save this frame. I don't have time, memory. So what I can do, if I get only the MAC address, okay, the destination only up to this, okay, the first one, something called preamble, Next, we are having the destination MAC address. If I receive the destination MAC address, it is enough. Okay, if I receive the destination MAC address, it is enough. I'm going to take, the switch is going to take a decision and it is going to forward. Okay, it is going to forward. Here, we are not going to check the errors. Here, we are not going to store this frame. I'm not going to the store. Okay, I'm not going to store the frame in my, the switch is not going to store the frame. So the switching decision will be taken immediately. Okay, if you receive, okay, 8 plus 6. So 8 plus 6 means only 14 bytes is enough. If you receive the 14 bytes is enough, immediately you can take the decision. So the complete frame, slowly it will go to the destination. So you are not going to forward, you are not going to store it. You are not going to do any error checking. And this method is going to be very quick and very fast method. Okay, it's a very quick method and fast method. All the modern switchers, the latest switching devices, the switchers, they use the cut-through method. Okay, they're using the cut-through method. You see in the previous slide, allows the switch to start forwarding in about 10 microseconds. If a frame is coming, just the frame is coming, enough, you can take the decision. Okay, you can take the decision. No FCS check. Okay, we are not going to do any error checking here. Frame checksum, no, we are not doing any error checking. Even the frame is having error, no problem, you will forward the frame. No buffering here. You are not going to store. You are not going to store your frames. Okay, so this method, it is a cut-through method. So two methods, store and forward method and cut-through method. So these are the two different methods available in forwarding the frames. Now, the next concept is collision domain and broadcast domain. Okay, so this is the, I think, the last topic here. So it's a very small lecture. Collision domains and broadcast domains. So I will explain. Okay, what is a collision domain? What is a broadcast domain? Okay, now let me go for a broadcast domain first, because easily you will understand the broadcast domain. Now, I'm having a router. This is a router. Okay, so I have three networks. So this is network 1, local area network 1, local area network 2, local area network 3. Now, I'm connecting all these three networks. I'm connecting here. So three networks I connected with this router. Now, this router now connected three networks. So I'm going to say this is a broadcast domain, this is a broadcast domain, and this is a broadcast domain. So what is a broadcast domain? Now you go to lecture number 1. So in lecture number 1, we wrote network ID, subnet mask, first host IP address, last host IP address, then broadcast IP address. So every network is having a broadcast IP address. So here, if I have hundreds of computers, I'm going to have hundreds of computers here. 100 computers I'm having in this network. For all these 100 computers, I'm going to use only one broadcast IP address. Okay, for example, this is a 10 network. So 10.255.255.255. This is the broadcast IP address for 10. Okay, 255.255.255. I just put dot. So now this is broadcast IP address. So using the broadcast IP address, I can do broadcast only within this network. The broadcast packet will never go to the next. Okay, it will never go to the next network. No. So the broadcasting will be done only in that particular network. So I'm going to say this is a broadcast domain. Then this is, for example, take 20 network. So for this network, I'm having a broadcast IP address 20.255.255.255. So using that IP address, I can do broadcast only within this network. I can do the broadcast only within this network. So the broadcast packet will never go to the next network. No, your router will not allow. So this router is having three broadcast domains. Okay, the router is having three broadcast domains. So this is one broadcast domain, this is another broadcast domain, and this is another broadcast domain. So what a router does means, The router is, okay, you say a broadcast domain is the extended of the network where the broadcast frames can be heard. So a router is breaking, router is breaking the broadcast domains. Okay, so there are 3 broadcast domains available in this case. Now I'll go to the previous slide, collision domain. So what is a collision domain? Now you see, I'm going to take one network. I'm going to take. I'm not three networks. I'm not taking. I'm taking only one network. So 10 network I'm going to take. 10.0.0.0. Okay. So in these 10 networks, for example, I have 10 computers in this. Okay. So 10 networks, 10.0.0, okay, is a network. Okay. For example, here I have 10 computers here. Or okay, don't confuse this 10 and this 10. Okay, make this is the 20 network. Okay, so okay, take it 30. If I write something is coming. Okay, so this is a 30 network. In this 30 network, I have 10 computers. I have. Okay, so now in this network, I'm going to have a switch. I have taken only one network. In the previous slide, we have 3 networks. Okay, we have 3 networks, but here I'm going to take only one network. Now I have taken only one network. So I'm going to take a switch. In the switch, there are ports available. This is port 1. Okay, port we have to start with 0, but no problem. So port 1, port 2, port 3, port 4, port 5. Okay, like this, we are going to have 10 ports we are going to have. So all the 10 computers, okay, I'm going to connect like this. This is the first computer, there is a second computer, and there is a third computer. So all the computers I'm going to connect with the port. So it is connected like this. Now, in this case, how many broadcast domain available? Okay, in this case, okay, I have taken only one network. So here, how many broadcast domain available means here the broadcast is equal to 1 because it is same network. Okay, it is same network. It is 30.0.0.0 network. So here the broadcast domain, broadcast area is only 1. So if somebody is sending a broadcast, all the 10 computers, it will receive the packet. But now I'm going for the collision domain. So what is a collision domain? So collision domain means you can see every port is a collision domain. Every port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the ports, every port is going to be a it's a collision domain. What is this, teacher? Why it is called collision domain? Okay, now you see, if one system is sending a frame, automatically all the others, they are not going to send. Okay, suppose if they send at the same time, okay, what will happen means collision will happen. Okay, the packets, that means the frames may collide. Okay, it may collide with each other, it may hit with each other, so they cannot send. Okay, they cannot send. Okay, what is this? See, this is a road. Okay, this is a road. Okay, I'm here. These are all the people. Okay, or you can say these are all the flats. Okay, just imagine like this. So in this road, I'm saying only one person can go at a time. Okay, you make this a very small road. Okay, very small road. So only one person can use this road at a time. Now, so the first person is using. So we don't know how the person is going to go, whether the person can go in this direction or the person can go in this direction. We don't know what is the direction. So if someone is using the road, the others should stay away. They have to stay in their home. They cannot use it. Now, if the second person is using, is using the road, means the third, fourth, fifth, everybody is going to stay inside. Okay, suppose if 2 people they are using at the same time, okay, this person is also coming, and at the same time the another person is also coming, means there will be a collision. Okay, there will be a collision. So there is a protocol available, CMDA. Okay, collision avoidance, collision detections. Okay, you might have studied in routing and the introduction to data communication. Okay, there is one course. So there are some algorithm available, collision detection algorithm, collision avoiding algorithm. Okay, there are some algorithms is available. You can solve this problem. Okay, you can solve this problem, but you must know what is collision. So collision means the same link cannot be used by more than one person at a time. Okay, same link, one link cannot be used by more than one person at a time. So in a switch, if you take, every port is a collision domain. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the collision domain here it is 10, and everything it is available in one broadcast domain. So the broadcast domain is equal to 1. Okay, so one collision domain, sorry, one broadcast domain, and the collision domains are more. Okay, there are 10 collision domains available. So this is okay going to be the concept of collision domains and broadcast domain. So if all the ports in a hub, if you take a hub is a device. So this device we are not at all using nowadays. It is completely outdated. So in a hub, only one collision domain. All the ports will be available in same collision domain. But if you take a switch, it is not like that. Every port of a switch is a collision domain. If you have 48 ports, 48 collision domain. If you have 24 port switch, 24 collision domain. If you have 4 ports, 4 collision domain. So the switch breaks the segment into smaller collision domain and easing the device competition. So that means every device, that means every port is a collision domain, and broadcast means depending upon the network. So if a router, you connect 4 networks, 4 broadcast domain. In a router, if you connect 10 networks, 10 broadcast domain. Okay, so this is the difference between the broadcast domain and collision domain. Now, the next one is alleviating the network congestion. So network congestion means how we can control, or how we can avoid the network congestions. Okay, switch is helping in highly. So how means the switches helps alleviating the network congestions. How means, so it's facilitating the segmentation. This is we are going to do. Okay, in the next lecture, what we are going to do means, the next lecture we are going to study about the basic concepts of switches. Okay, same like routers, the basic concepts, how to enter into a switch, how to change the username, how to enable a password, how to connect a switch with a PC. So these are the basic concepts we are going to study. Then after that, we are going to study a concept called virtual LAN, VLANs. So this virtual LANs, you can segment, 24 port I'm having, all the 24 port, I don't want to keep it as a single domain. So what I can do means I can divide. First to 4 ports, I can make it as VLAN 1, VLAN 2, VLAN 3, VLAN, virtual LANs. You can divide this into virtual LANs. So that is possible, we are going to see. And you can change the speed, duplex, off duplex, you can do the changes. Then you can have some priority. So high port densities. Then you can handle the buffering the large frames. Just now we discussed what is buffering. If the frame, store and forward, complete frame will be received and it will be stored. Then employing the high speed ports, you can increase the speed, of the ports, and taking advantage of fast internal switching process. Keep it in your mind. Switching is faster than routing. Switching is faster than routing. Switching is inside a network, within a network, so definitely it is going to be fast. So having a low and per port cost. This comparing with the routing, so this is going to consume less bandwidth, it is going to consume less memory, less CPU, everything will be less here in switches. So this is the concept of the switches. So the remaining thing, so what we studied, this is the summary. So what we studied from the beginning. So we studied what is a switch, then we discussed about the convergence, then we discussed about the different forms of a switch. That means the stackable form, modular form. These are the things we studied. Then the very important thing we studied about the store and forward, and the store and forward, what is another, store and forward, cut through. And cut through we discussed. Then we discussed about the table. What is a MAC address table. Then we discussed about broadcast domain and collision domain. Okay, we discussed about the modern, okay, this domain concepts. So these are all the things available in this lecture.